So no long intro, but the amount of makeup that I've been buying lately is stupid. So this is the look that we're going to accomplish at the end, but we're gonna try some new products. So let's jump into the video. Okay, let me put a headband in because I look crazy. All right. Literally so much stuff in here. I am 1000% sure that my local Ulta employees are tired of seeing me and bringing orders out to my car. Because wow, this is, wow. So let's jump in. So I did buy the new e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which apparently is very similar to the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I actually did not care for. But this one's only $10. I wanted to try something new. I'm not gonna use it today though, or this Tula face filter blurring moisturizer that I got to pair with the Ilia skin tint that people are raving about. Just because I want to try this Urban Decay foundation. I'm bending down to pick these up. And it's not new, but I am just now purchasing it. The Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation for up to 24-hour wear. I have the shade 50WY, which is probably better for me when I'm tan, but it's okay. I'm gonna put on a fake tan because I bought some of these St. Mariz Extra Dark that I've never tried before. Hopefully I like it because it's for my baby shower. And I don't want to use a new primer, so I can see if I actually like this foundation. So I'm going to use my go-to, and that is the CoverGirl Moisturizing Primer. And I'm going to apply some MAC Strobe Cream first. And to apply the Strobe Cream, I'm actually going to use a brush. I was watching a video on Instagram, just one that popped up on my People You May Know or whatever little page. And it looks so luminous and pretty on her. And I know a lot of makeup artists do that, but I want to try it. I always apply it with my hands. For my chin, nothing new for mattifying products. I'm going to use the Glam Glow Super Mattify 6 Acid Clarifying Primer for my chin. It's like a little putty. I'm going to take that and just go ahead and hit that area so that I don't forget. Because sometimes I do that. Even when a product is really good, I'll forget to use it and then I'm mad at myself. So I'm going to take the Lexi 660 Precision Foundation Brush. I have another one that's like more duo fiber-ish kind of brush, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to use this one and kind of put that all over my skin. Okay, so I don't really notice a huge difference, but this girl also had amazing skin. And then now I'm going to take my CoverGirl Primer and just apply that to everywhere except for my chin because I get oily there. In the shade again, 50WY. So warm undertone with yellow undertones, and I am yellow. People comment on videos sometimes like, your foundation's way too yellow. I'm like, I am yellow, yes. Of course, my face is a lot more pink than my body, but you can see. You want to match your foundation to your body, not your face, or else your face is not gonna match your body. So, you know, it's a real thing. That's what it looks like. It's actually not too terribly dark. So, I'm just going to, like I always do, good match. Pat it on with my fingers. The reason why I don't like to dip my sponge or brush directly into the product with the back of my hand is because then that tool soaks up most of the products. Then if you want more coverage, you have to go back in with more product, and essentially you're wasting it. But that's just a preference of mine. So I take my finger and kind of, you know, pat it all out. And then for my brush, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Foundation brush. If you're not new here, you know this is nothing new. I've been using the same brush for like 3 years. And I just prefer a brush to blend out my foundation. So far, so good. Good coverage. It is more like, it's medium to full, I'd say. I don't know what the claims are. Skin, real skin matte finish. Medium buildable coverage. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I guess it is more medium than full, but still has good coverage. Do a little bit on my ears so my ears aren't so pinky red on their own. And then I will take my brush and just kind of dip into that product just for my neck. Right, so I definitely need more coverage. I could have spot concealed all of my little recovering blemishes from this girl pregnancy, but I'm just gonna take a little bit more back of my hand. It definitely is a matte finish when you look at it on the back of your hand, and I should have used some of my Flawless Filter or some kind of luminizing something underneath, but I guess this really gives us the best look at how the foundation is gonna perform, so it's fine. Pat it into my skin. I don't like to use dragging motions when I'm blending my foundation. Again, soaks up a lot of product. It doesn't look as smooth in my experience. So little stippling motions, kind of press it in. Now this is a new little product to me. This is the e.l.f. sponge. It is called the Camo Concealer Sponge. So obviously it's made for their Camo Concealer, which I actually really like. I didn't really care for the hydrating one, but the camo concealer is nice. I'm just gonna take that and blend out all over because it's a little bit more matte, especially compared to what I'm used to using. So just wanna make sure it's super soft. That's nice. But make sure I don't have any little brush strokes and that it's being pressed into my skin. Next, I'm going to take, this is not a new product, but it is a must for me. It's the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It is finally back in stock everywhere, so that is one of the best things to happen during quarantine. Even though really no one's staying in quarantine. But I'm using the shade light to medium, and I'm applying that on my under eye with my ring fingers. This just kind of cancels out that purple under your eyes and also gives a nice base for concealer. And it's creamy, so it's hydrating. So I can't live without this stuff. I've been using it for many, many years. And I even wear this when I don't have makeup on at all, so that I look not like a zombie. Now for concealer, do I have a new one? I don't have a new concealer. But the one that I've been reaching for the most lately is the Makeup Revolution concealer, the hydrating one, not the Conceal and Define. I have the shade C5, but it's not available on the website anymore. So I bought it in store at Ulta. I don't know what that's about, but I'm just gonna apply that under my eyes. And it is a lot more pinky toned. But I've been liking that look lately. And this onto my lids like I normally do because I'm going to be using the Anastasia eye primer. It's my newest obsession. If you watched my last video, you know that. But basically the whole point in using actual eye primer for eyeshadow is because concealer, which is what I normally use, I just wipe it over my lid, I'm good to go, I set with a powder. If you have more oily lids, that's not going to work as well for you because the concealer is meant for your under eye, which is typically a drier area on most people. So the concealer is going to start to kind of break down when the oils start to produce, and most people don't have an oily under eye. So then, since it's on your eyelid now, it's going to break down your eyeshadow. It's not going to be as vibrant or as long lasting throughout the day. So eye primer, which hello, is made for priming your eyes, actually works way better. Who would have thought? Makes all the sense in the world, but that's what I've been doing all my life. So now I'm obsessed with that eye primer. And I don't even know what I'm going to do on my lids, but I know anything that you use, it just looks so beautiful. I'm also taking that on the sides of my mouth just to kind of highlight and lift under my non-existent cheekbones. I took a little bit more underneath my eyes with the concealer because I always do. Probably not necessary, but give me all the coverage. And you always want to blend your concealer out so it's nice and smooth. I don't like bringing the product way out here because it has to be blended somewhere. So I like to kind of stop in this area and then let my sponge do the rest of the work. So I'm just gonna press it in. I really like this. Super nice little sponge. I'm very impressed. It's just weird because it's so small in your hand. But to set my under eye, I'm going to take another one of my favorites. This is the Maybelline Fit Me 05 Loose Powder. It's the fairest one, but I love a bright under eye. So I'm just gonna take my sponge, make sure none of my little under eye creases have had any product settle into them. And then I'm going to press it in. Got the Anastasia eye primer. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that off camera because literally you just put it on. I take that on my ring finger. That's always the finger you should use when working around your eyes because the skin is so delicate. It doesn't look super smooth when you first apply it, but as you blend out your eyeshadow over it, it looks totally fine. I just tore apart my makeup room looking for this. Thought I couldn't find it, but it was literally right in front of my face. So this is new to me, not new at all. The Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. And it comes in one shade. I'm just going to take it how I've seen my friend Megan use it before, and she just kind of puts her brush on it. This is a Wayne Goss number 10 brush. Ooh, pretty color. Sorry, not number 10, number 12 brush. I'm just gonna start pressing that into my hairline. It's a very nice color. I thought it was gonna be too light, but I'm very impressed. So pretty, okay. So, I'm not gonna do too much on my cheeks because I accidentally already did my concealer and powder first, and I would typically do my cream contour before concealing and powdering or setting it, so oopsie. And since this foundation is so matte, I didn't want to just use a powder product, so had to find this, even though I did this in the totally wrong order. And wow, okay, that was fast, easy, very pretty. Impressed. Next, got two new palettes. The Nude Mood palette from ColourPop, also not new, but I was in store, And even though they have all the testers like covered up, I could still see the palette, and it was so pretty. So I picked it up. It's, you know, neutral, which we all probably have enough of, but I really like this all-in-one palette. And then I also picked up this Juvia's Place Nubian palette, the mini. It looks like this. I have had Juvia's Place palettes in the past, and they are super nice. I just go through a declutter all the time with my makeup, and if I don't use it, I get rid of it. So I had like several of the palettes with lots of color in them, and I wasn't using them, so I decluttered them, but the quality is super nice. So I think I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place just to do like this quick, easy look that I saw Rissa Does Makeup do. So I'm gonna take this shade here. I don't think they have names, but just this shade right here as a transition, and a Morphe M511 blending brush, and just work that into my crease as a transition shade. And I'm just building that color up, making sure it's nice and blended out. And then I'm going to take this shade here, which is a little bit darker and less like orangey than the first one we used, and I'm gonna press that down into my lid, and then blend it out. But I'm focusing it more on this outside area, just because my eyelid is flat, so I want to give as much dimension as I can. And then I'm gonna use the Morphe M433 in the dark brown shade, and I'm just gonna press my brush sideways into the palette, not on top, so I know exactly where the color is gonna go on my eye. It's literally right there I want it. So then I can press the color down first, and then, oh, that is so pigmented and pretty. And then just kind of blend it out on this lower and outer third of my eye. So press it down, blend it out. Ooh, that is so pretty. I love it. Okay, now this is also not new, but I typically use the Too Faced glitter glue. I'm gonna use this one though, but this one is from NYX, and instead of being $20, it is only $6, and I actually bought it on sale for $4. So this is just a glitter primer, and I'm gonna take that on my lid just for a little bit of extra pop with the shimmer shade that's in this palette. So I do use my index finger for this part of my eyelid just because I can get in there better. So I'm just gonna press that right on, and then I'm gonna take my ring finger just because it doesn't have the primer on it, and pop that onto my lid. My kids are crying, they don't wanna close the door, so I'm so sorry. Mom life. Can't wait to add one more. So now I'm taking same color, of course, on this eyelid. That is so pretty. Okay, I'm having a moment over here. But yeah, I'm very impressed. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that's nice and pressed in. I'm gonna take it a little bit above my crease because my eyelids are hooded. It's gonna transfer anyway, but it's also really pretty, and I want you to be able to see it more. So, okay, I am like so happy I bought that. It's only $10 too, so that's amazing. So now I'm gonna go back in to the dark brown shade and just kind of go back over a little tiny bit of the shimmer that I just added. And then same thing on this eye, because I kind of carried it and drug it over a little bit further. And now I'm gonna wipe off this same M433 and take the dark brown shade, or not dark brown, the medium brown shade right there, and focus it right above, but just like bring that in slightly so that it's not so white right here. Just something I kind of feel like I wanted to do when I'm looking in the viewfinder. It needs it a little bit. Now I will take this little ColourPop palette. This is again the Nude Mood. I'm gonna use the shade Buffin, which is just the first light matte shade in here. And I'm just gonna, it's not super bright. I usually use Anastasia Tempera, but I'm gonna try to blend out kind of where that eye primer and concealer have separation, and then slightly highlight as well. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy about this. Okay, also bought these really pretty Diamond Dazzler, what are they exactly called? Yeah, Diamond Dazzler Loose Foil Pigments for BH Cosmetics. They were on sale when I was on Ulta, and the color is a little bit more gold, or I would add this on top, but I really like what we have, so I'm not wanting to mess that up. Now I am a little nervous about this because I've never used anything like it before, but this is the Velour Lash and Go, and it's an eyeliner and lash adhesive hybrid. I saw this on Makeup by Cheryl, and I love her. But you literally line your eyes with it and then put your eyelashes on. So instead of using a lash glue on the band of the lash, you put this on your eyelid first and then the lash. So I'm very intrigued by it. I don't really wear eyeliner a ton anymore, but I did buy this Milani Stay Put eyeliner in the shade Black. It's matte. So I will do like a little bitty wing. And I notice people who have hooded eyelids only really do the outside portion, because I always don't like to wear eyeliner because I feel like it takes up so much of the shimmery pretty part. That for me is my favorite part of eyeshadow. And so I always bring it here just to get like the line I like, but I'm gonna try to do it just out on this little outer V. So then I'll use the lash glue first or after. So it has a little felt tip liner, which is what I like to use. I don't care for the brush tip. Marker tips are okay, but brush tips get me messed up. So the brush is not super, it's pointy, but not like my L'Oreal telescopic one that I used to use, the waterproof one. So I just kind of want to be careful. Oopsie. So this one still is a little bit longer, but I'm just gonna leave it. Not even worried about it. Who am I trying to be perfect for? No one. Okay, now lashes. Ooh, okay. These are the Ardell Double Wispies, and they are beautiful. And this does have latex in it, so if you're allergic to latex, don't use the Velour Lash and Go. I don't know what would happen to you, but I don't want to know. I think it'd probably make your eyelashes fall out. That's what I've been told. So I'm gonna take that, apply from the top. I forgot to put mascara on. Oops. However, I do want to test out a mascara on this eye. I was doing a makeup lesson, and my client, which I'm so impressed with her, so I have to put her before and afters here, but she was using this L'Oreal Voluminous curved brush, and her eyelashes are amazing, and they stayed super curled. So I don't be able to tell too much with the lashes on, but I still kind of wanted to see if it would flake, because that's like one big thing I look for mascara. I don't want little flakes all over my face throughout the day. The part I should really say that I'm like nervous for is a new brow pencil. I have been obsessed with the Kat Von D Signature Brow Pencil for over a year now. Maybe is it 2 years? I think it's like a year and a half. But ratchet editing, but I'm just shook because my eyelashes aren't even attached. So carry on, let's pretend that it is. You guys have told me to try the Morphe brow pencil, and I think I need the shade Java. This is the shade Chocolate Mousse, which is the darkest, and I usually use dark brown. So, okay, that's the Morphe one. Let me just see what the Kat Von D one looks like, because my hair is pretty dark, but it's weird because every time I get pregnant it gets lighter, so it's kind of light right now in the front. I don't know. Okay, so it's not black by any means, but that is the Morphe one, and then the one on the left-hand side or right-hand side, which side, I don't even know which side I'm on. That is the Kat Von D one that I normally use. Plus my eyebrows are already microbladed, so spoolie on one end, and plus this pencil's only $5. The Anastasia one is $20, but to me worth every single penny. I've repurchased so many, and I have like 5 backups in my drawer. I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, let's try it. So it has that Anastasia Brow Wiz kind of look. And I'm just doing short little hair-like strokes. I like the Kat Von D one because it, the brush is not like a definer brush, but it's kind of flat. So this is taking me back to like the NYX micro brow pencil and Anastasia Brow Wiz days. But it's very pigmented, that's nice. So they're pretty bold, but it's not bad by any means, just not the Kat Von D shape that I'm used to. They're dark, honey, dark. Foundation still looks nice. It is very matte, so I think it'd be pretty with something luminous underneath it. But so far so good. In between my eyes, I'm not so crazy about it, but I could probably work with that some. So I'm just gonna take my little brush and blend back over. I didn't dip into the palette or anything. I'm just kind of taking what was left on the brush. But I will go back in with the Morphe M433 and press in a little bit of that darker brown. I have not straightened my hair yet either, but I'm gonna take it down too just because that helps, even though there's product all in it. What's on my face? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to, don't know what's on my face. I'm just gonna take that little brush and whatever's left on it and kind of clean up a bit. Now, a new bronzer that I bought, which is Backyard Bronze from Buxom. It looks way, way lighter online than what it is. So I think this might be a little bit too warm. Not necessarily too warm, but I've kind of grown out of that. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is a Morphe JH02 bronzing brush, and it just has a little bit more kind of red in it than I normally like for myself. But it was super pretty. So it's the lighter shade too, so I'll probably have to return this. But if this were me a year ago, I would love this bronzer. But the color is a little bit too red and bronzy for what I like to do. For blush, another thing that my client used that was so pretty was this peach blush from Maybelline. So it kind of looked like Milani Rose d'Oro mixed with Milani Luminoso. I'm not the biggest fan of Luminoso on me, but I do love Rose d'Oro. So I was like, let me buy this and try it. It's only, I think, $5, almost $6 at Ulta, and like $5 at Target and probably most other drugstores. So this is a Morphe E4 angled blush brush. And I'm just gonna put that on. So you can see like a gap in my face right here from having on powder before I did that cream contour. I know better, but that's what happens. So always, for the most part, creams before powders. It's a beautiful, beautiful blush. I love a peachy blush. I also picked up this Rimmel Maxi blush in the shade Third Base and this L'Oreal Blushin' in Riviera. This is also a recommendation from Rissa. She said it was a dupe for, I believe, the shade Ecstasy, if I'm not mistaken, from Charlotte Tilbury. So that one's also very pretty too. Looks like NARS Orgasm, but it's a little bit more intense. And I clearly like an intense blush. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Glow, Gleam, and Beam highlighting palette. This one. So apparently the shades on top are more for like a glow from within, and the ones on the bottom are for a more popping highlight. So let's do some, okay, that's got some glitter in it. So those are the first three shades. The first one is kind of not the cutest, but the other two are beautiful. So yeah, the first shade is, I know, but they're the other two. So pretty glow from within. And then these on the bottom, they didn't really swatch too well. The reviews were good on this. There weren't that many. Yeah, that looks terrible. Let's try it. See what happens. Why not? I already messed up my bronzer. So I think I'm gonna take these two right here. This is an Anastasia A23 brush. Tap up the excess and just apply that to the high points of my cheeks. That's pretty. Let's take these two just to see what they look like. I'm gonna wipe off the brush, dip into those. They don't pick up near as much. Okay, also more of a subtle glow from within, which I love. So, looks nice other than the fact that my bronzer is jacked. I also have the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 palette coming in the mail, and I was watching Patty do her 5 looks using that palette, and they were so beautiful. But she used this aubergine, is that how you say it? Aubergine Infallible Pro Matte eyeliner from L'Oreal, and I had to go ahead and buy it for the palette, but I want to use it today. It's a dark purple, but they also make a red one, which I wanted to buy the Melt Red eyeliner, but I knew I would never really use it, so I did not. But of course, this is drugstore, so I probably will end up picking up the reddish color, because red looks beautiful on blue eyes and green eyes, and even brown eyes really looks good on. When I say red, it's more like maroon or burgundy, some people call it. It's more that vibe. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. I didn't get a new setting spray. I got like some glow mist, but not setting spray. So I'm gonna use the Urban Decay All Nighter. Just set my makeup down first. And then I just bought this. I know it's been out for a while, but this is the L'Oreal Shake and Glow Dew Mist, and it smells so good. It looks beautiful on the skin. I've used that one. This one though, from Morphe, the Luminous Setting Spray, I have not tried this one. But I will use this one since I know how I like what it does. That way I know how it works with this foundation. So pretty. So the mist is super fine though, kind of like the Fenty one. So I got several of these e.l.f. Seriously Satin lipsticks. I have the shade Cream, Nectar, and Cider. So I'm gonna swatch these. I think they probably show up a little bit lighter on camera than what they are in person, just from my lights. But Cream, Nectar, and Cider. This NYX Downtown Beauty lip liner. It's a dark brown, obviously. So the one I really want to use is Cider, and it's the darkest one. Typically I always wear pink nudes, peach nudes, nudes, all the way around nudes. I love nudes, but I want to use this one. It's pretty. And lipstick trick, take your finger, stick it in your mouth, pull it through. Whatever's on your finger is what would normally go on your teeth. And this is a dark shade, so I want that to happen. So, all that. A little more blush. And that is it. And I still have so much more makeup that I didn't even touch. Sits in the floor. This is the final look with all of my, for whatever reason, that I just decided to buy makeup products. So if you guys enjoy trying these new products with me, I think everything so far was pretty much a hit. The eyebrow pencil is a little bit dark compared to what I'm used to, and it still looks fine because my hair is so dark. I think that's good. It wasn't my favorite shape. Not that it's the worst, because it's actually a really good pencil. I'm just used to the Kat Von D one. Lip color's good, blush is pretty, cream contour is pretty, especially if I put it on when I was supposed to. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.